Hi, do you look at these color charts and you want to buy every single one of these colors? Well, why pay that kind of money when you can mix 90% of these colors with just some basic colors? Stay with me and we'll talk about it. Hi, this is Linda Paul-Sontag again with my quick tips for new artists. And what this session is going to be about is not being afraid to mix color. Here's an example of the myriad of paint colors that you can buy. This happens to be oil colors right here. There's roughly, 45, 6, 7, 8 different shades that you could buy. And frankly, you don't need them. Get yourself a color wheel. If you've had some art instruction in the past, you probably know, but if you don't, and generally my quick tips is geared towards really beginning artists, so I apologize if some of this stuff sounds redundant, but you have your primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. The color wheel is your tool for learning how to mix colors. There's two sides to it, and it's really helpful. So I can decide what color I want to mix, and then I can use this tool to combine these to show me what colors need to be mixed with red, yellow, or blue to get the colors that I want and the values I want, whether light to dark. But for routine painting, I use a very limited palette myself. I've got examples in acrylics here, as well as oils, starting with white. And of course, here's my primary red. I've got actually two blues that I use. They just give a different sort of blue or color when you're mixing with other colors that I find to be useful. And here, my palette in acrylics, you can see here, I don't even have a green, for instance. I always mix my own greens, but I have greens in my oils, and that's for particular purposes. But going through the colors, you always are going to need white. And I don't even typically use a black. This is actually Paynes Gray. And I have Paynes Gray also in my oil colors. Once in a blue moon, I will use a true black, but you'll find that in nature, things typically aren't truly black, and you can combine other paint colors with your Paynes Gray or your other darker colors to achieve those really dark shades that you want. Have an orange, which can be mixed, of course, with red and yellow. But the reason I have this orange is it's pretty difficult to mix a really vibrant orange, and I really love these particular cadmium oranges. Going through these colors, yellow ochre. Also, even though it can kind of be mixed, it's a great color for mixing in to other paints to give them sort of a different tone. Now, one of the tricky things to remember that's going to be very, very useful for you is if you want a color to be muted down, you will use its opposite. For instance, if I have a red tone and I want to really blunt that color down, I'll add a touch of its opposite, which is green. The same with, let's say, I'm using a blue, and this is just too blue, and I want to make it a little dull and a little recessive. I'll add a touch of orange. So those basic tenets can be applied to all these colors on the color wheel. And then here on this side of the color wheel, you can see how you can achieve varying shades and values. So this is a very inexpensive tool. You can find this at virtually any art supply store and even many office supply stores. So don't be afraid. Don't spend that money on a million different colors. And I can tell you that when you start looking at oil colors or acrylic colors, you can actually go insane because there's so many. And truly, you would almost never want to use a color directly out of the tube. You can occasionally, but when you paint using colors directly out of the tube, very often your resulting product will not have a natural appearance to it, because in nature, you rarely find these pure colors. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for additional videos